question of the day is, when was your last hookup?
Flew somewhere and I flew back.
You got flown out on a Wednesday, got dogged out, and then came back?
Yep.
What about yours?
Do girls count?
When was your last hookup?
About a week ago. Last night.
Last night?
Do you hook up on the first night?
Yeah, what? Yes.
You do hookups?
Absolutely, she getting it.
Beat that hoe for the bag. Hey, beat that hoe for the bag. Sir, word, you had it. Yes, sir. Let's go. Pop.
I don't think there's any such thing as a casual sexual relationship. I don't believe that. It trains you to treat yourself and other people as instrumental objects of short-term pleasure. You're going to treat the other person as if they're a divine locus of consciousness or a disposable pornographic entity.
Hookup culture has become the single most destructive thing to our nation. And by our nation, I mean the US. I'm even talking like the UK, because you ask anybody else, especially women, especially those who live outside of like these degenerate Western cultures and societies, you ask them, hey, you think it's cool to just go around and hook up and have sex with just a whole bunch of random men? They're gonna look at you and be like, heck no, that's disgusting. Yet here in the US, we're taught that this is healthy. We got artists like Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, all these degenerate chicks who promote promiscuity, who promote selling your body, showing off your body. They promote things like just hooking up with random strangers, and then they sell it as female empowerment. And then, at the same time, you got these same women who say, oh, men are all just perverted. They're only out for one thing. Well, then it's like, why do you keep giving them this one thing? Why is giving up your value, giving away a piece of your soul, why has this become the new standard? And this goes both ways. I'm talking to the men here as well. Well, but Jay, you know, it's different for guys, like, especially for us young guys, like, we need experience, right? So that way, one day when we do have a wife, we'll know how to properly dig her guts out. And that actually was, you know, when I was a young teenage boy, that was my whole concept too. That's actually like my excuse for why I used to watch Prawn. Because I was telling myself, well, you know, I need to know the basics. I need to know what I'm doing, so once I have a wife, you know, I can satisfy her and make her happy. Thinking like that's the only way I'm actually gonna satisfy and make my wife happy, or else she'll leave me. Or like, you know, I also hear these things, I hear these young men, I literally hear this all the time. Oh, but Dre, like, you know, I'm still young and like, I need to get it out of my system. I need to take advantage of my youth. I'm only gonna be young once. You fool. Who told you this? God, did he tell you this? Did you sit down and have that prayer time with him this morning and tell you, hey, yeah, you're young, bro. Go out, just go sleep with whoever you want, whenever you want. Yeah, bro, get to it, man. Go take advantage of one of my daughters. And then I hear all these other little stupid little things, like I'm sure you've heard this one. Oh, you know, yeah, you gotta test drive the car before you buy it. Yeah. Who made up that silly little message? It's like, what book did you read that in, bro? The Book of Baloney? Book of Balonians? And then we hear this story. Guy meets little sweet virgin girl, somehow gets her to have sex with him, and then things just don't work out because we're just not sexually compatible. We're like, she wasn't really that good at sex, so I just kind of left her to the curb. Poor girl, bro. Like, of course she wasn't good at sex. It was her first time. Of course you guys weren't sexually compatible. Those things take time. It takes duration. Compared to every other chick out there that you've slept with who's been around the block and back, of course they got like some technique now because they've actually put in time, but they've just done it with many men. So you just move on to the next chick, and because you do this over and over again, you just keep on hooking up with all these baddies, right? Now you're thinking just having good sex, yeah, that's the standard for a good relationship, and you're blind. It's like, of course you didn't think that little sweet girl was great at sex because she wasn't, bro. She wasn't yet. And she probably didn't think your ass was that great either, so chill out. But guess what? You could literally spend the rest of your lives together working that out, practicing, getting better with each other. Like my wife and I, bro, we've practiced so much. We've had a lot of, over the last 8 years we've been married, right? We've had a lot of sex, and therefore we know each other's bodies better than we know ourselves. I know exactly what to do to pleasure her, and she knows exactly what to do to pleasure me. And that's simply because we've spent that time, we've put in that duration. And now that that is so good, there's no way in hell I would ever go out and try to replicate that with somebody else, because there's no way that they're gonna measure up to what Bree can do for me. But just being honest with you, in the very beginning, yeah, Bree and I, we didn't know what we were doing, bro. We were trying to really figure things out. It took some time. But now sex is completely mind-blowing. And the best part about it is I get this mind-blowing sex every single day, pretty much as often as I want. And it's with my very best friend, the one that I can fully trust in, the one that I know has my back through thick and thin. No matter what, she's gonna be there for me by my side. That loyalty right there, bro, oof, it's unmatchable. It's wild, dude. Culture has continuously over the years inputted this message that marriage is complete bondage. I hate to be so vulgar, but go out and just get as much pussy as possible. It's like, what? Really? You really think that's the answer? You think that's the best possible advice you could give a young man? You tell me, bro. You tell me what sounds more king-like. Yeah, bro, just go out, sleep around, hook up with whoever, you know, just use women as a tool just to tickle on your little pickle. Or get ahead of the game. Get mission focused, live for Christ, stay on your path, live purposefully. Think to yourself, do you think that you will be remembered for how many women you slept with? Or do you think you'll be remembered for how many souls you saved? What are you living for, bro? You living for booty or you living for legacy? You can't have both. Sorry to break it to you, bro. All hookup culture does is it celebrates the rewards of kingship while having the responsibilities of a young, irresponsible, adolescent child. Oh, but Dre, you know, it's not that serious. It's just sex. All right, well, okay. Look around. What do you see, bro? You tell me. All you see is broken families, broken homes, broken marriages. Father is not even present. His kids grow up. They become addicted. They become sad, frustrated, get hooked on antidepressant pills. 1 out of every 3 of them have some sort of sexually transmitted disease. They're just totally lost, totally confused. And then they hook up with some random partner, maybe have a kid with them, and then they have their own broken home, and then their kids are going around doing the same thing, and it's just an endless loop, bro. Generation after generation. Now, don't get me wrong, you can do a very good thing, but you can do it in a very bad way. Sex is a good thing. In fact, sex is the most beautifulest, most purest thing. And I know a lot of the men who are watching this video right now, they don't want to hear that, right? That sounds boring. I'm like, pure little holy sex stuff. No, I want the sin, right? Oh yeah, I want that prawn hug type of stuff. And it's because they're so immersed into all that ickiness that's now their new standard, right? Anything else outside of that is just kind of boring. And I don't want that. No, bro, I'm telling you, because I've been in that world. I'm telling you right here, right now. Sex is such a good, amazing thing, bro, but as long as it's in the boundaries of marriage. Now hear me out, bro. I know a lot of these young dudes right now, they want to click out of this video. They don't want to hear that. But check this out, bro. This is how powerful it is. It's so much more powerful than you realize. Marriage, in being with one woman intimately, that is a direct reflection to our relationship with Christ. Think about it, dude. This is where it gets crazy. Think about this. When a girl bleeds for the first time, why do you think she does that? Why do you think when she has sex for the first time that she bleeds? You ever think about that, bro? Check it out. It's the same reason why Jesus hung on that cross and shed his blood. It's covenant. It's God's way of saying, hey, I'll never leave you. I'll never forsake you. I'm with you always. And that's what our marriage with our girl, with our woman, with our wife, that's what it's supposed to reflect. See, this is what the enemy does, bro. He takes all those good things, all those amazing, beautiful things that God puts into play, that God creates. He takes it, he copies it, because that's all he can do. He can't really create, he just copies. And then he puts his own little twist on it. Instead of love, he creates lust. It's a duplicate. Actually, it's not even a duplicate. It's a mutated, distorted, lower quality. And he's got all the young men out here, he's got them just so blind and so confused, thinking, oh yeah, I want this, I want the sin. When really it's just destroying them from the inside out. See, check it out, bro. Sex was designed for the king who embraces his throne, not for the little weasel guy, the little thief who just comes on in and takes what he wants and then leaves. God designed sex to be like a fireplace, right? A fireplace, what does it do? It keeps the house, it keeps the whole entire house warm. The second you take that fireplace and you put it just out there in the living room, right? What's it gonna do? It's gonna burn the whole house down. And all this hookup culture does is it makes you think, oh, you know, I'm not gonna burn my house down. I'll be fine. I can just start a fire right here in my living room. It's not a big deal. Sex was designed like a fireplace to keep the whole household warm. The second that you start a fire outside of that fireplace, outside of that marriage, that's when everything starts to crumble. Now these days, bro, we got like these polyamorous communities, and it's like They're basically like modern day hippies, where, you know, it's just all love, you know, we just got nothing but love for each other. This girl that me and my wife were friends with, for those of you that purchased my Masculine Masterclass, you heard the whole story. You guys, you know that about this girl that kind of started to come into our lives, and you know what went down, and how her background, you know, she kind of came from that whole polyamory scene, and how in her head, this is how she thought, and it sounds logical, right? And the Bible says, you know, there's a way that seems right to a man, but in the end it leads to destruction. In her head, she thought, well, you know, I just love people. I love everyone, right? Which is cool. And she just thinks in her head, well, you know, since I love everyone, why can't I show them that love? Why can't I be with them intimately? Why can't I share this love to all, you know, all the men, all the women? And my kind of argument with her was, you really think they're doing it just, you know, it's just all out of love? You think like they actually, truly, deeply love you? That's what you're thinking? I know if it was me, if I was, you know, immersed into that world, if I'm being real, I'm not gonna do it for love, bro. I'm gonna do it because I'm just being straight up with you guys. I'm trying to hook up with all these chicks. So when I heard her say this, it's like, if you say you moved away and moved to a whole different country tomorrow, you think that guy's gonna go chasing after you? No, that guy's not gonna care. That guy don't love you. Yo, don't get it twisted. Like I said, the enemy always takes what God has and he puts his own little sick, evil, little perverted, poisoned twist on it. The only problem with this is that God's way, it always satisfies. The enemy's way, it never satisfies. Lust is never satisfied. Think about it, bro. When you were young and you first started watching a little bit of porn, right? Say I'm sure you started off with like just maybe looking at girls like in bikinis or something, and then you got into like some actual softcore stuff, and then you know, a couple weeks goes by, a couple months goes by, and now you're just going even deeper, looking at even more intense stuff, and then 3 years, 4 years goes by, now you're just watching this intense, sick, perverted, XXX, just hardcore stuff. And now you're just so full of lust, bro. Now you're going out because you got to fulfill these fantasies. So now you're sleeping with this girl, and then you move on from her because now you want something else. You want this girl, you want this type of girl, you want this type of nationality, that type of nationality. And now one girl doesn't satisfy you, so now you're looking for like to sleep with like 2 girls at one time. And now you're just thinking all these like weird, evil, little perverted thoughts. And then whenever you're out in public and you're conversing with a woman, all you can think about is just these like weird pornographic images and little stories that you think could potentially happen, right? You start looking at these girls thinking, oh yeah, she probably wants me, right? And you're so consumed by lust and evilness. And that's what happens when you just keep going down that road. This is what the enemy does. He makes you feel like this lust, that it's nice in the moment, right? It feels good in the moment, but he just keeps stuffing you down that funnel, bro. Just stuffing you and stuffing you. And then you get so far down, so far deep, it's so hard to get out of it. But with God, when you go God's way, when you just give yourself to one woman, one girl, and you stay committed to her, you stay light, bro. It's a good feeling. Like I said, it's like pure, right? It's beautiful. And you can stay mission focused as a man. You get all the sex you want. And on top of that, you get amazing sex, bro, because like I said, you guys know each other. She knows exactly what you like. And you get that on the daily. And at the same time, you feel good about yourself. You feel like a king. You're staying on your path. So check it out. Hookup culture, it's disgusting. It's perverted, my brother. It's selfish, self-centered, self-seeking first. It's all the little bozos out there saying, oh, you know, Andre, well, I'm just having a little bit of fun right now in my life, right? Like, I'm young. All right, well, check this out. Imagine you just allow just some random guy into your house. You have a daughter, right? And just because, you know, he's young right now, you're just having a little bit of fun. So you say, all right, come on in, bro. My daughter, yeah, she's up in her bedroom, so yeah, you're welcome to just go on up there. And so yeah, feel free to just do what you want with her. Dig her guts out if you want. Plant your seed in her. Yeah, do what you want, because you're just young right now. You're just having fun, right? And then he goes upstairs, does his duty, comes back down and says, thanks, Pops. Your daughter, bro, yeah, she's a good time, man. I'll catch you later. Catch you next time, bro. Would you just allow that to happen? Sure, you wouldn't, right? So what makes you think, what gives you the okay just to go and do that to someone else's daughter? What I want you to think about is this. This is a powerful question. What kind of man do you want your daughter to marry? All right, well then be that man. So we gotta set a new standard, my brothers. We got to make family cool again. Make abstinence cool again. And we can do this. I know it seems so wild, so far-fetched, but it starts with you and it starts with me. It starts with this community, this army that we have here on YouTube. One at a time, one man at a time, one household at a time. It's wild how young men these days, they think, oh, what bro, you're 19 and you still haven't had sex? What, you gay or something? It's like, what? No, bro, I'm saving myself. I'm living with honor. I'm living for God. In my opinion, bro, I know this might sound crazy to some of you, but hear me out. You shouldn't even kiss a girl until you are ready to marry her. I mean, what's the point? What's the point of macking on chicks? Because eventually, you know, that leads to something else. What's the point of even doing that if you don't even see her in your future? If you don't even see her as wifey material? What are you doing? You're just wasting time. It's like, bro, get focused. Get focused on your mission. Get focused for God. Stay on your path. And if you have that as your first priority rather than hooking up with chicks, when you stay on God's plan for your life, you'll start to meet some girls along the way, and then you gotta analyze, then you gotta have that conversation with them, and then confirm, make sure that they have the same core values as you, make sure that this girl, that she's following God above all else. At the end of the day, bro, like, there's a lot of hot girls out there, but they could also be hot messes. They got the halo still hanging off the horn. I heard that from my buddy Anthony, and I thought that was such a dope quote. Check it out, bro. Your girl, she needs to follow God. That's number one. When you don't have God as that foundation, anything goes. You can come up with your own little ideologies. You can go about life the way that you want to go, that you think is right. You set your own standards, and that's the dangerous thing about not having a higher authority. You become your own authority, and at the end of the day, women are followers. My dude, I don't mean that in a degrading way whatsoever, but that's their natural tendency, is to follow. And so if they're not following God, who do you think they're gonna follow? You? No. They're gonna be following culture. And what's culture telling them? Oh, you don't need no man, right? You're a boss, biatch. And then you see this, bro, you see these marriages just go up in flames, and then these guys say, see, that's it, that right there, that's why I won't get married, right? Because marriage is always in divorce. That's why right there, that's why I'll never do it. Marriage is slavery. It's like, marriage ain't slavery. Don't be listening to all these stories that they tell you. Marriage is so liberating. My marriage, my relationship with Bree, it's unmatched. It's so beautiful, and it's so satisfying. Everywhere we go, like, we're inseparable. We love just always being together. How is that, bro? Like, that's so rare to see that these days. Couples actually wanting to spend every single second together. We love our time together. We love our marriage. We're passionate about each other, and we're committed, and we stick to those godly values. And yes, we do have boundaries around our marriage. But guess what? We sure do play freely within those boundaries, within those walls. Because if those walls weren't there, we'd just fall off and crash and burn. Honestly, you know how liberating it is to have one girl by your side, one girl that you can fully trust and rely on and know that's gonna stick by your side through thick and thin till the end of your days? You know how amazing it is to have that feeling, to have a marriage that is safeguarded? Bro, I wouldn't create such a polarizing video right now if I wasn't so serious about this message. Fatherless homes have become so destructive to our society. And now the whole solution is, well, you know, if I get a girl pregnant, then she can just abort the child, right? Look, if you guys want to hear my honest thoughts on this, it's just my opinion, but I never think that's the route to go. And this is what we've come to now. It's like, oh, you know, there's a whole other side of the story. It's like, well, you know, but it's her body, her choice. Oh yeah? Well, that's not what the Bible says. The Bible says your body is not your own. It says before you were born, I set you apart. So that's why I don't agree with it. And then there's that other side of the story. Oh, well, Jay, but like, what if she got raped and got pregnant by just some random evil dude? And it's like, all right, well, check it out, bro. My heart truly does break for women that have to go through that. In fact, it disgusts me. I hate hearing those stories. My wife, she even got messed with when she was a child, okay? So I get it, and it breaks my heart. But the percentage of women that actually get abortions because they were raped is so tiny, it's so minute compared to the women that are just going out having sex with all these men, doing, you know, whoever they want, whenever they want, and then because they don't want the responsibility now, they just get the abortion. And so, hey, look, that's the cold hard truth, and we gotta wake up, my dude. Fatherlessness can no longer be accepted. Broken homes can no longer be accepted. And then now we're seeing like these celebrities come out doing like the whole co-parenting thing. Oh, you know, we're doing this for the kids, right? Like it's healthy for them to, you know, see this and to have their parents, even though they're separated, they can still like, you know, come together at times and just, you know, for the family, for the kids. Oh yeah, well, you know what's even healthier for your kids to see is seeing their parents stick together through thick and thin, and to see that a family doesn't split, they stick together at all costs. But check it out, you can't become that family man, that king in your home, thinking, oh, but first, before I do that, before I get serious, I gotta just get it all out of my system first. That right there, that's not laying any kind of a strong foundation for your life and for your future as a man, as king in your home. You can't think you're just gonna go out and have all your fun and sleep with all these chicks and then you're just gonna turn it on and now you're gonna be an absolute king, just an absolute unit, man of God in your home. It doesn't work like that, bro. You gotta set a foundation. You gotta start now. All these suckers out here thinking that they need to just release all their sexual energies and urges first. Nah, bro. Save all that. Save all that sexual, exhilarating, masculine energy. Save that for your wife, dude. On marriage night, on wedding night, save all that and just blow her mind, bro. Now, to finish off this video, I wanna share with you guys a quote. You may have seen me post it the other day in the community. It says, how do you destroy a nation without war? You make adultery, nudity, and promiscuity common amongst the young generation. So, hey, look, we've got to turn things around, my brothers. It starts with you, it starts with me. Now, if you've watched this video all the way up until this point, my dude, you got my respect. I wish I could like just hug you and give you a big nice pat on the back. But hey, thank you so much for watching today. If you dug this video, a thumbs up, hit the notifications button to be informed when I drop that next video. And check out this one right here. This is a powerful one. You won't want to miss it. And I'll catch you on the next one. Peace always.